Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're looking at a ranked match played 2 days ago between AyyJayy and Ashllxyy, and this is one of the rare occasions where we get to see one of the best players in Europe playing against one of the best players in North America. AyyJayy dropping the possession after the first kickoff, and Ashllxyy's going to control it in after air dribbling into the center of the box. Very nice touch there by Ashllxyy. He knew that AyyJayy didn't have time to go for boost. AyyJayy didn't really make any mistakes there. He just simply got outplayed, maybe a bit too far into the middle. Now here he is, the kickoff win of his own. Thought about a double reset, comes back down for a second go at a single reset. That's going to work out quite nicely. AyyJayy equalizes with a stunning goal and fantastic decision making. I love the way that both these players have played their first aerial attempts on net. Not rushing themselves, trying to just play for as much control as possible. But once again, AyyJayy preferring to play as aggressively as he can. Oh, look at this. So Ashllxyy half flips the ball almost on target and catches AyyJayy completely out of position with a demo from behind. Now, no way did AyyJayy think Ashllxyy was going to be counter-attacking that quickly when he sent the ball into the corner, I should say. Really good move by Ashllxyy. Now one bump and a second one. Ashllxyy hasn't got any boost, but he's able to score after bumping AyyJayy twice out of position. AyyJayy definitely getting surprised here pretty consistently by Ashllxyy, and you know, I like the challenges that AyyJay's put in. I love the ball pressure, but he is not expecting these moves coming out of Ashllxyy. First that dribble behind him for the first goal, then we had the half flip counter attack, and then a cheeky little double bump. Although that's something we do see a lot at the top level of ones these days. Lose a kickoff, no problem, just bump the other guy, and I'm sure you're going to be fine. Boost management looking good for both players here. Ashllxyy still leading by 2 goals. Look at the ball control by AyyJayy. He's the one to bump Ashllxyy off the position now. Oh, the infield dribble's looking pretty good, and AyyJayy cuts it back to a 1-goal lead. Ashllxyy not expecting AyyJayy to transition from the wall to the net that quickly. Thought he had time to grab 100 boost in the corner. He was mistaken. AyyJayy blocking Ashllxyy's kickoff shot. Ashllxyy finds position for another one. Oh, look at that. Ashllxyy didn't go for boost. He didn't need it. He just made a chance on net straight away, and AyyJayy was not able to save it. Had he saved it, he would have been in a great spot with that boost advantage that he secured for himself. But look at this again from Ashllxyy. Just a bit too quick, and AyyJayy caught out of position once again. Careless in the last 2 goals to allow Ashllxyy to just go right past him. Although Ashllxyy's control has been immaculate, and he really does not need a lot of boost to put a threatening flick or outplaying touch on target or past you. Ashllxyy stealing both of AyyJay's boosts here. AyyJayy wanting to stay as close to the ball as he can. This is not a good position for him, and he didn't get the touch he was wanting there. Ashllxyy's going to score, but AyyJayy, with an unforced error, tried to land goal side of the ball, maybe get a pinch clear. Softer one would have been expected, but he accidentally flipped past the ball, and that just completely gave it away to Ashllxyy, who's really winning a lot of kickoffs here. This is such an impressive performance right now by the Englishman from the center circle in every single play. AyyJayy the one. Boost starved. Ashllxyy controls it. AyyJayy just charges it. Oh my goodness. What a read by AyyJayy. He actually had no boost, but he just dunked Ashllxyy on the goal line. He knew that Ashllxyy had a lot of boost to play with there, so he completely tricked him with that challenge. Ashllxyy thought AyyJayy would leave. He knew that he had him boost starved. AyyJayy 1 step ahead on that one play. However, 4 goals behind overall as Ashllxyy checking behind him to see where AyyJay's coming from. Knew he had time to turn, and what a 50-50 that is. Ashllxyy muscles it right through him, and he's not just using that wave dash recovery on the kickoffs, he's also using it on 50-50s in the mid game. Such a good strategy to control your opponent. AyyJayy not able to keep Ashllxyy in the near post area. That's going to be 100 boost for both players, but possession belongs to Ashllxyy. He wanted a flick into a rebound there, and AyyJay's not going to let it past him. Scores his 4th goal of the game on the counter. 2 minutes left to see if he can start to chip away at this lead that Ashllxyy's built for himself. Ashllxyy, oh my goodness, he's continuing to dominate the kickoffs. Great save by AyyJayy. In fact, perfect save, because he is going to be able to transition into a possession, and he bumps Ashllxyy as well. That's going to be in. Wow, what a play by AyyJayy. He was in a world of trouble there. Ashllxyy had the initial kickoff win. Looked like he was going to steal AyyJayy's boost away and take the possession once more, like he has so often this game. Oh, look at AyyJayy. Another bump on Ashllxyy and another goal. He's within 2. Ashllxyy looks to be winning the majority of the kickoffs, but AyyJayy is playing fantastically afterwards in every single one of these. Still can't believe he managed to pass the ball to himself off the post while saving it moments ago. Make it 7. AyyJayy beats Ashllxyy to the boost. Now it's time for him to start getting some pressure from the center circle. What a comeback by AyyJayy. Huge already, but look how much time there is left in the game. He could have taken his time and still made it. Oh, a big mistake by AyyJayy. Ashllxyy's just walked right through him. And you don't want to give Ashllxyy chances from that range. His flicks are consistent, and that will be 9-7. AyyJayy must have had a problem with his takeoff there. Didn't get up into the air the way that he was expecting. Really smart move by AyyJayy. Something I'm surprised he didn't try earlier, actually. Faking a kickoff. It's something that you should always be doing, especially if you're losing kickoffs and if you're having problems dealing with what your opponent is up to. Ashllxyy able to score another easy goal for him. AyyJayy going to continue here. 1 minute and 8 to go. Standard kickoff. Doesn't look like it's going to go too well for him. He tries to get back and forfeits the game. 10-7 for Ashllxyy. It was about to be 11-7 with over a minute to go. Ridiculous scoreline. But that is what happens when you've got 2 players who are trying to really throw everything into every single kickoff. You're likely to have one player scoring more often than if both players were using more conservative kickoff strategies, saving boost, trying to mix it up with the delayed approaches and the fake kickoffs and the different strategies. But AyyJayy didn't have enough time here to figure out what to do with Ashllxyy's kickoff. I think at the end there, loved the little fake kickoff he threw in there. I think if he did a few more of those and a bit more variety, he would have had a better matchup here. But congratulations to Ashllxyy. Big win for him in this ranked game. Super excited to see Ashllxyy still kicking about the top of the leaderboards, not just in 1s, but recently in 2s and 3s as well. And hope to see more of him in the future for competition. Of course, we get plenty of AyyJayy with FaZe these days. And yeah, we're likely to see a whole lot more of him throughout this season as well. Now, before we finish this video, I wanted to take a look at 3 goals again. Since we've just got 1 game for today's video, I thought we'll go a bit more in depth for 3 of the goals in this game, starting with the very first goal in the game. Okay, so here we are back at the start of the game. Let's take a look at what happened for the first goal. I think it's a very interesting sequence. Both players going big on the outside of the ball on the kickoff. That boost is actually there. Ashllxyy gets it. Flips into the middle. I'm sure you guys, a lot of you will remember this goal since it was so recent, but there it is again. And there's a few things that Ashllxyy does here that are really, really, in my opinion, very impressive. So first of all, here he is going for the side boost. Look at that little camera flicker. Did you catch it? I'm sure you did, but here it is again. He saw there that AyyJayy is coming behind him, and he could probably hear him as well. So instead of rushing to try and get a shot on target here, instead of trying to get the ball moving towards the net, which is the traditional move, if you have the ball and the boost in this position and your opponent is running back to their corner to get boost, which is another play that players will make in AyyJayy's position here when you lose the kickoff, go get the back corner boost. If they do that, you really want to try and get a shot on net as quickly as possible, whether it's an air dribble off the wall, off the ceiling, or just cutting in field and making a beeline straight for the goal. That really puts your position in a rough, your opponent in a rough position because they haven't got ball pressure. But AyyJayy does something smart. He actually pressures the ball immediately. What he's trying to do here is surprise Ashllxyy by his presence, get a big 50-50 to bounce out into the middle of nowhere. Then that way he can go get the 100 boost in the back corner and come out to pressure the ball before Ashllxyy starts the next play. So the fact that Ashllxyy's seen him coming stops this from working. It's a smart play by AyyJayy. Ashllxyy knows that he might be doing that though, controls that 50-50, doesn't want the ball to go flying into a random corner of the pitch. He wants to attack right now, and that is what happens. Now the advantage of that, because he's outplayed AyyJayy, is AyyJayy doesn't have time to get that 100 boost. So instead of going to the 100 boost pad, and conceding a ground pinch, which I'm sure Ashllxyy would have consistently scored, or some kind of air dribble where AyyJayy can't get back to defend in time. He preserves his boost. He's got 23, and now he realizes that Ashllxyy's not got any intention of playing the ball here. He realizes, okay, Ashllxyy's catching this, let me just move forward a little bit, and it's only then that that AyyJayy notices, uh-oh, he's actually going behind me. So Ashllxyy, I think AyyJayy made good decisions here. 2 good decisions, pressuring the ball after the kickoff, not going for the big corner boost, because he knew that Ashllxyy would be attacking too quickly, but Ashllxyy just still managed to outplay him anyway. So really good plays by both players. It's really interesting as well to note, finally on this goal, that Ashllxyy can see AyyJayy this whole time. He knows that that big corner boost is up in the corner, and with this position that Ashllxyy has after this first touch off the wall, not the easiest air dribble. So he decides, okay, trying to pre-flip under the ball, doesn't get too close. So instead of trying to stretch for a flip reset, he decides, okay, I'll just catch this one and take it to that corner, because if AyyJayy does save the shot, Ashllxyy can steal the boost and probably still have possession. If AyyJayy doesn't, then it's a goal. So it's a win-win there for Ashllxyy. The 2 most likely outcomes are, number 1, he's scoring, or number 2, AyyJayy saves the shot, but then AyyJayy will be left with no boost and Ashllxyy can just steal his 100 away. Really good decision making by both players. I think a very interesting goal to start off the game. Now let's take a look at number 2. Okay, here we are at the second goal. Just fast forwarded a little bit there. And AyyJayy going big on the outside of the kickoff again. Same thing that he did for the last one. Let's see what Ashllxyy did. This is important. So he went for the same thing, but with a wave dash recovery. However, that wave dash wasn't able to make up for the distance of a head start that AyyJayy had. So what do we have? We have AyyJayy going off the wall and Ashllxyy going for that back corner 100. So sort of similar to the last goal that we saw, but with the players in switch positions. So AyyJayy lands 1 reset on the ball, and you can see there that he was leaning into the ball one more time, thinking about going for a double reset. But a double reset from this distance is quite hard to pull off. He'd maybe even have to go for a triple if he wants to reach the net and be shooting. And he sees that Ashllxyy is committed about as far back as possible. I mean, this is good positioning by Ashllxyy. He's waiting to see what AyyJayy is going to do. So instead of the second reset, AyyJayy actually decides, you know what? Right here, he could have flipped and gone for a second reset, but what's the point? Ashllxyy isn't committed. Ashllxyy's not moving forward. That probably isn't going to put him in too much trouble. And it is going to be a very difficult shot to score from this range. So instead of that, he just fakes it, comes back down, starts air dribbling again, and then he has his second reset, but after, of course, coming back down to the ground, and that's how he's able to score. So really good improvisation by AyyJayy on the fly. Let's take a look at it from Ashllxyy's POV. So right there, Ashllxyy can even see that this looks like a double reset play coming in from AyyJayy. Even for Ashllxyy, 1 reset, and the way that AyyJay's air rolling there, Ashllxyy knows, okay, he's probably going for another reset, so I'm just going to sit back. But AyyJayy saw Ashllxyy sitting back, came back down to the ground. Now, if AyyJayy telegraphed the fact that he was going to come down to the ground like this, Ashllxyy might have charged forward and been able to challenge right about now when the ball's bouncing, or at least be close enough to challenge when the ball bounces. But AyyJayy kept him at bay. He managed to convince him that this is a double reset incoming. You don't want to challenge because another reset's coming and the shot's going to be on your net in a second. Nope, actually it's just going to be a bouncing ball and a second air dribble. So Ashllxyy completely caught off guard by this, and I mean, you can't really blame him. Fantastic stuff by AyyJayy. Playing like someone with more than 100 boosts, really. Air dribbling twice in one play. Super efficient. Only using, notice that, 32 boosts to land his first reset. A little bit more just to fly down to the ground. That touch faster. And even when he's shooting here, he still has boosts left over to recover with. Even if he somehow hits the bar, he's actually still got 14 boosts that he can use to propel himself to supersonic with a flip, or probably with a wave dash and a flip to get back out into the midfield. Really, really efficient play. Very smart play by AyyJayy. But one more goal, and a bit of a different one that I wanted to show you guys a replay of before we finish today's video. Let's get to it. Okay, here we are at 6-2 in Ashllxyy's favour with the straight spawn kickoff, the one that I think yields the fewest kickoff goals, and it won't on this occasion either. But Ashllxyy able to transition that into a 100 boost for himself. AyyJayy snatches the possession back from him though, and with exactly 1 boost, he tries to get some movement. Now the reason AyyJay's flicked the ball here is because he's not 100% sure what Ashllxyy's up to. He's not sure. Right there, Ashllxyy disappeared behind the ball for a minute. That could be an attempt to disguise a challenge. So AyyJayy just flicks it, either to dissuade Ashllxyy from challenging or to outplay him if he is going to turn. Ashllxyy, however, not turning. He has got tons of boost. He's not afraid of AyyJayy with the 0, and he's going to just turn around on the goal line, and he expects AyyJayy to steal the boost in the corner. That's not what AyyJayy does, and I love this because it's a completely all-in play, but it's a massive surprise as well. Look at AyyJayy. He's not actually hiding behind the ball. He might have thought that he was initially, but yeah, I think even now, at this point, AyyJayy is banking on the fact that Ashllxyy probably still thinks that this is a fake challenge, and that he's just feigning ball pressure here so that he can get a free 100 boost. He's trying to make Ashllxyy panic, realizes, okay, Ashllxyy's actually just not panicking. I'm going to go. The ball's on his goal line. Let's just see if we can score, and you can. It's the kind of play that, if you saw this, if I just took this segment of the game here and said, guys, what rank is this? Let's hide the nameplates. I mean, we could actually just hide the nameplates. There we go. So what rank is this? I mean, you could guess anything from gold to plat, I would imagine, based on... I mean, you've got an alpha boost, a bit of a giveaway, but if I don't show you the recoveries, you're gonna think, yeah, this isn't Grand Champ. This is definitely a low rank, but it's in fact 2 of the best players in the world, and that just shows that sometimes you have to mix it up. If you just fake challenges all the time, if all you do is run away for boost whenever your opponent has the ball, they're gonna figure that out. They're gonna know that that's what you're doing, and they're gonna adapt to counter that. But what AyyJayy did here is he sent Ashllxyy a warning sign. Even if this doesn't work, it's a warning sign for Ashllxyy. You better worry about every single time you're slow playing, I might just go. So very, very smart play by AyyJayy. And in fact, the upside is, since it's a 50-50 on the goal line, you might just get a goal. So a pretty big winning opportunity, as well as, I think, a big mind game win for AyyJayy. But yeah, great game overall by these two. Is awesome to see. I don't think I've ever seen this matchup before, so it's a really cool one to be able to watch. 2 players who I think play the game quite similarly. They're both extremely mechanical, very flashy, and tons of flair with the aerial game, but very, very smart as well. Very clever with how they play their 1v1. The big difference between them in this match is that Ashllxyy really just had a better standard kickoff, and AyyJayy didn't adapt. He didn't have enough options in the kickoff department to change the way that the kickoffs were going. So full credit to Ashllxyy. Phenomenal wave dash recovery kickoffs, phenomenal standard kickoffs, able to really control the game. And even after AyyJayy came back with a bit of a scoring spree, Ashllxyy still closed it out quite comfortably. You know, AyyJayy probably forfeited a bit early, but credit to him, he did wait until he saw what was going to happen with the next kickoff. It's 10. Yeah, right now, this is 10-7, and AyyJayy's thinking, right, I'm having a pretty bad day with the kickoffs against this guy. Can't figure out a way to consistently beat him. Probably didn't switch to fake kickoffs and delayed kickoffs early enough. And another kickoff's going in. It's going to be 11-7. Definitely a score that AyyJayy can come back from. But yeah, he didn't look like he's having too much fun in this one, having to defend a ton, and having to watch the ball rolling into his net when there's nothing he could do. Also, probably wasn't too happy with the last 2 goals he conceded, if I recall. He did not give himself a great chance on these ones as well, as we see, just a massive bean from AyyJayy there, flying off the wall at the wrong angle, misreading a bounce, or just not anticipating what Ashllxyy was going to do. So a couple of unforced errors to get that extra bit of tilt at the end of the game. Can totally see why he'd leave early on this one. GG's though. Well, GG, I should say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the slightly more in-depth breakdown of a game. If you did like this, then let me know, and I'll look for games with interesting plays to do more of this style of content with. But of course, whenever I see multiple games in a row in ranked between players of this caliber, matchups like this, I would absolutely show you more than just one. But that's why we went for a bit deeper on this one. It's the only game that I could find between these two. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But that's all we got time for today, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, night, wherever it is you are. And I'll see you in the next one.